before I even get into this, you know, I've done viewer match analysis for the beginner tournaments a few times, and I always get like the same YouTube comments, which are like, these players aren't beginners. Like, these players are too good. I don't watch all of the beginner matches on my stream. Also, not all matches are streamed. There's a lot of people who are like brand new that play in the tournament and are not on stream, and you just don't see them play. Like, I watched the finals of the tournament on stream, and people are like, these people aren't beginners. And it's like, well, yeah, they aren't anymore. Like, when you're in the finals of the tournament, you get banned from the tournament, so you're not in there anymore. The point of the beginner tournament is that there's lots of new players showing up and playing. A lot of people will say, yo, like, I am trying to play Strive and I don't know anybody who's new, who's my skill level, or any other beginner players, etc. Right? The point of beginner tournaments is to put all the beginners in one place so that even if you lose in the tournament, it doesn't matter because you're surrounded by beginners. And you're like, hey, like, I lost in tournament. Did you also lost in tournament? You want to just play some games and hang out and chill while this is going on? Beginner tournament is cool because, like, you know, you get to all play in one place. But even more important is beginner casuals that are happening in and around the bracket. You know what I mean? Just go play. And like, if you see other beginners in the beginner tournament, then ask them to play and just be like, hey, let's play some games. Anyway, let us see here. Were any of you in any of the matches? I want to watch people who are here so I can ask them questions if they're in the chat or give them some advice while they're here. Also, I don't know if it's announced who's doing each tournament, or when they announce, but each tournament has a special guest commentate the tournament. So Backpack was commentating this. This is very nice of him. LK commentated one, Hotashi commentated one, Deb commentated one. So you know it's cool. Oh, King Crimson's here. What's good? Okay. Okay, good. Nice. Okay, I like what you just did there. There's some good things. I like some of the choices I've seen from you so far, King Crimson. Let me see a little bit more, and then I'll talk about it.
Yeah, especially for beginners, you don't really see a Zato. Like,
okay, we have to be careful of something that just happened, but we'll get to it in a second.
That character's hard. I disagree with that entirely. You should pick the character that's going to give you incentive to keep playing and get better at the game.
Okay, we did some okay things. There's a couple of okay things on both sides. I want to just go back to the beginning real quick. I think we saw some cool stuff from both of you, and I want to give you both some props. You got to be careful about getting hit by the fast low here. In general, I would say for most people, if you don't know what to do against Anji, just block low and then wait to see if there's an overhead. That's like what you should do as level 1. That'll get you pretty far. You're totally okay with blocking that. It's not a big deal. One thing I would say about Zato that I think you did that's cool, you did Piercer and then you ran up and did stuff after. One problem though is I would say with Zato is you don't really want to do something like that where you just did like drill and then you did a pose. It's not the best option for you there. I think instead canceling into another Piercer or like doing frog and then doing overhead or low or something would be a little bit better than what I saw you do. I love that you challenged Ko, by the way.
Dude, you're an absolute gamer.
That's great. I don't think you can do dash far slash here though either, right? Yeah, I think you just need to stand still and do far slash.
For beginners, you don't really see a Zato. Like
I do love that PlaDubh hit the hit Eddie there. Love to see it. Can I also just say I'm a big fan of this. I'm a big fan of PlaDubh hitting with 2K2D and then canceling the Fujin into hop and then mediating. That was a great recognition of that situation. You need to do 5K there, PlaDubh. Not the best burst punish in the world, but we take it.
Unfortunately, a little too far away for the frog to really be a threat. Disrespecting behind the oppose.
I'm a big fan, yes. One thing I would say is if Eddie gets away from you like this, you should just unsummon. If as a Zato player, you're just doing stuff and like Eddie gets away from you and you're just swinging buttons and like random Zato moves are happening, you should just unsummon when he slips away from you and you lose control. So that way you can resummon and start over with a move that you have in mind. Your punish is like you block the burst, you do 2S, and then you do Pierce, and then you run up and do far slash, and then he does your frog, and then you're running up again like crap. I'm gonna hit far slash, and then frog is gonna come out again, and then whatever. Like it's better there if you just unsummon when you see the frog slip away and not hit, and then run up and like resummon with the pose or something. Is my advice there.
Disrespecting behind the oppose. I think oppose was a little in front of him, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah, oppose, he just like, it was on the other side, so it didn't end up helping you out there.
I tried my best.
I'm not gonna lie, I blinked. I'm just gonna assume.
But that's what I would say to watch out for. Yeah, if you're PlaDubh there, I think you need to hit 5K a bit more after you do, what's it called?
We're seeing different things in neutral.
Nice, I like the drill there too. I think you need to do 5K or 5P after Fujin P, so that way you can, you know, like take more advantage of the plus frames. Oh,
Anji's a character that doesn't have defensive options, so you'd rather just keep them in the corner and keep your.
That was a little bit of a miss on the wall there.
The reward, obviously, for breaking the wall.
Punish? Okay.
Meter, but it doesn't look like you've had an opportunity to use it just yet.
Yeah, no, I think
something to think about for the Anji player. I'll give you after this. Okay, not bad. Nice. You did a lot of things right there, PlaDubh. I'll take it. Yeah, that was going to be an OTG hit. It would have been great if you did like 2P into Pierce or something. Oh, you could have died.
Most of the time, you kind of want to just keep them in the corner.
I think we're okay with that burst.
Unless your character has a meter condition like Ramafall.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, whoa, they spun through the piercer.
Yeah. Okay, a couple of things. I think doing drill into pierce into drill is like not exactly what you want if your opponent's in the air or trying to move towards you. A little bit more oppose or what's it called? Yeah, oppose is great there, but oppose needed to be canceled into piercer or something else there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I would say in general also you need a little bit more throw against Anji, because a lot of the times Anji's game plan against characters is bait them to do whatever their projectiles or attacks are and then spin through them and then attack you after. If he's just gonna like try to spin through Eddie, then you should just run up and throw him, or summon and then unsummon and then let him spin or co and then punish one of those options, right? You don't have to like summon and then attack. You can like summon and then be like, all right, what are you gonna do? I think when you play Zato, it takes a lot of brain power to figure this character out. I love that you're punishing Ko like that. That is a great skill, by the way.
Oh, man, that was,
figuring out how to punish Ko is not easy. Okay. I love that you just did it 3 times. You're like, that'll do.
Jump, and it worked out great. Unfortunately, they found
nice coverage. That's great. So from some advice to people playing against Zato. In the corner, when you jump his command grab, you should jump and then FD, whether you jump forward or whether you jump backwards. I think jumping forward is probably better here, maybe. But you should jump and then FD or look for this option after, because most Zato players will do this. They will go for command grab or regular grab and then do frog after. So if you jump, the frog is there to hit you in the air, right? Look at how good the offense looks. That's funny. It's a lot of times when you watch newer players, right? This is always kind of the way it goes, you know, where their offense and like their strategy when they're hitting their opponent is quite good. But the problem they're going to have is usually making the right choices or like things just slipping away from them, right? Where you're like, okay, if we can clean that up, we'll be looking great. Ooh, very nice. Careful. I think that needed to be 2S5H from the Anji player. Nice. All right, I like that.
So just when you're starting to respect everything that Zato can do, like all the Eddie stuff.
Yeah, one thing I would give you advice, this is for anybody, this Anji player should look into this because you have great buttons to do this with. When you're blocking Pierce from Zato, you need to hit a button in between these 2 hits. I think jump is fine too. It's not the worst option. But hitting a button to not allow Zato players to do this is great because King Crimson, you've been doing a lot of Pierce and then running up after, and there's actually a big gap there that people can move or attack or do whatever. So you kind of have to be careful about that. I would also say to this Anji player, to give you some advice that'll take you a long way. For Brainy Dude, what up? I want you guys to look at Fujin here, right? How many times does this Fujin get canceled into something immediately? And how many times is there a delay on the Fujin follow-up?
Not going for the fans. They've gone for fans. Okay, they were very that time to reset the pressure again. King Crimson has not been...
All right, that's 3 Fujins in a row. And all 3, the option you did after was immediate, with no gaps or no stagger or anything like that, right? So I would say if you want your pressure, if you want Fujin to feel a bit better, you need to have delays or change the timing on things there. Because if you do the follow-ups immediately, the timing for defending them is the same, right? So if I'm put in a position where you do Fujin into an immediate follow-up, always, and my defensive timing is the same. I like block low, and then I'll look to stand up later, and if you do the fan follow-up, I'll air to air it, and if you do the hop, I'll throw you, and if you do the overhead, I'll block and punish, right? By delaying things and doing things slightly later, you can throw off their timing. So if my timing is block low for a second, then stand up to look for overhead and other stuff and etc., right? If you do Fujin delay low, it'll catch me standing up looking for the second option or the third option or whatever, you know, whatever's happening there. So just consider like the delays in there make Fujin a little bit scarier to deal with, right? If your opponent starts to answer that, then you can tighten it up a bit again, or you can not go for Fujin, or you can do Fujin spaced out with no cancel or whatever, right? But I think that's an important thing to remember about Fujin, because all of these have been immediate follow-ups in every scenario. So just an important thing to remember, right?
Very, very good.
Yeah,
just keep that as an option. Oriskin, what up?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, for real?
That'd be my guess.
Not bad. We should have found an unsummon spot there, I think, though. We should have got Eddie off the screen before he died. Nice. I want to see a little bit more throw after you spin through stuff, too, from the Anji player, because a lot of times you have the opportunity to do it. That was sick. Drunkard, the butterfly. That was cool. I like that you tried to do the cross-up setup. That was nice. I think the big problem the Anji player is having here is playing around Eddie. I think you're kind of doing what you want to do on the screen, but you're not doing it with regards to what Zato is doing. You know what I mean? So like you're kind of living your best life, but not thinking like, okay, how do I kill Eddie? How do I stop Eddie from like doing whatever he wants to do, right? I think it's mostly just I want to do my game plan, and you're not going to think much about what he's doing, right?
Crimson in the defensive seat now, and they don't have any burst, so they're gonna have to hold.
Which is fine.
No!
I get it.
Oh my!
Oh, that could have been a punish, but it's not the end of the world.
The PRC goes to the command grab. Quite the little cheesy setup, but there are better ways to use it.
Nice, I like that. That was great.
That
was great. Since at that point, you know, you need to get the punish there. Eddie was not very close, so it would have been hard to whatever it's called, get away and get a punish there.
No, that could change everything.
Uh-oh. You needed to run in farther before you tried that, I think. That's the problem with jumping. Notice you get hit by far slash, you get hit by Pierce, and then you're trying to jump here to get away from this. I think you need a little bit more recognition sometimes on what exactly Eddie is doing, because you're trying to like hold up. You got to be careful about what's happening there with regards to the character. Again, you got to delay the Fujin follow up a bit.
You don't have your Eddie meter up. You don't have to run forward. You can just play patiently. You have really good
that should be the kill, right? Because you get OTG after if it doesn't kill.
Your aggressiveness
even with his good guts,
so, I mean, good stuff.
Doesn't matter.
You picked a good moment.
That was well played. I think for King Crimson, you should just block low there and wait a little bit, but also you should look to unsummon sometimes when he's farther away. And if your opponent is not respecting Eddie like that, then Oppose and Frog are great. For the Anji player, you definitely need to look to 5P the Frog. I'm guessing your 5P is your option. You can test it in training mode. 5P the Frog so you don't get hit by that from far away. 2P or 5P between Pierce. I don't know which one will work for you, but probably one or both. When you spin through stuff, I would say to try to look for throw if you're closer, because I think you almost always did close slash, because throw is like a more consistent punish usually, or forces the opponent to throw. And then what you can start doing is spinning through stuff and then backdashing, and then they're going to whiff throw, and you get like 5H into a big Fujin counter hit combo or whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? Same thing with the Fujin follows. Delay it a little bit, and you'll be all right. Heck you and Moon Penguin. All right, let's take a look at this one. I don't know if there's another match in the top that I missed, by the way. I'll have to take a look. You got to block because of the bomb. I think you should have hit the bomb maybe actually instead. Oh, God.
Oh, no! He spun backward into the bomb!
That was funny.
I'm really hyped to see
that was some real Looney Tunes shit from Faust. Nice.
Mostly because I really like the reactive.
This looks good on my end. I think Heku's pressure looks solid.
Be more different characters. Abba's
Air throw, excellent. That was really well played from Heku. I can see why you're in the finals. I think you look pretty solid.
Like things like stroke or night raid into RC. It's just because if you
bomb's down there, you should hit the bomb. Yeah, one thing about Faust is you really need to know the timer on your bomb. You have a lot of time here actually. Like this, even though you blocked here, you have time to still hit the bomb. Like, you know, there's a lot of screen space here that you can take up. And if you're not going to hit the bomb, you should retreat and throw more items. So you can capitalize. You should be hitting the bomb there. Yeah.
And so they went for 2P into far slash. If you had just pressed any
because if you had hit bomb, you would have actually, that position would have been a little bit better for you. You know? Oh, yeah, nice duck. Oh, you got to capitalize on the ducking on the jump D there.
Running the Eno pressure here. That was good from Moon Penguin there because
nice. Yeah, that duck on the chemical level was good too. I actually feel like your avoidance on the pressure is quite good, but the one thing that you're having problems with is challenging back so far.
Go for the air to air instead of the 6P. Lots of air to airs going on right now.
Nice. That could have been 5k 6H. I think that's probably what you tried and you just missed it. Oh, that was a good choice.
That sucks for Moon Penguin. I feel like that 6H was literally...
Yeah, you did a good job, Moon Penguin, actually. I think your defense looked fine. You know, Ino's going to hit you. It's not your fault. But I think your defense looked fine. I think you just needed a little bit more challenge. Like, you needed to hit a button on some of those moments. I also feel like you need a little bit more. I love that. That looks great. I think you need a little bit more, like, you need to shift your style a bit, I think. Because what I'm seeing is a lot of, you are attacking first. You need a little bit more, like, reactive play rather than, like, preemptive play. I feel like most of the time, you are initiating with jump 2K or, like, run up with this or that or, like, trying to bring the fight to Ino. And I think that's okay to do occasionally, but there's a lot of you attacking first. And if I'm fighting Faust and I'm Ino or something and that's happening, I probably feel pretty good because I'm like, oh, he's just gonna come attack me. Nice, I can just get to chill. And he's gonna run at me and I'll just meet him in the middle somewhere and he'll die. So, you know, I would say you need a little bit more reactive play. I love Scalpel. I think Scalpel there looked quite good. But it's a lot of your game plan so far has been like approaching with jump 2K and like really trying to get in and make stuff happen when it's not always on you. Punish. Nice. You love to see it. You love to see it.
So if you guys didn't know,
we talked about that after the first week. I'm happy to see it.
But you have to block the first hit and then punish the second hit. You can't block.
You love to see it. That was fantastic. Okay, don't you know?
Like the second layer there
I think you have done double item toss into run up jump 2K like almost every time. If you throw an item, you don't have to go jump 2K right away in there. You know what I mean? So you should be careful about that. Wait, jump. That was probably minus 87, I would guess, on block. That jump 2K. Got to be careful about that.
You know, mix time.
You got to be careful about jump 2K, and that's the... You got weight coming down. Why not do jump and then do jump D and be plus 87? Why do jump 2K and be minus 87? We didn't have to do all that. We could have lived.
Mix time.
Oh, was that supposed to be super, I wonder?
You know, as meter, you should know what's coming up. Oh, gonna get by the
meters are great.
Meters actually come into the way.
No. Punish
yeah,
again.
punish. Oh, that is not a great burst. You are in a bad spot, though, unfortunately.
Barbados slammed straight under that burst.
I'd be careful about the wake up supers. I feel like the wake up supers have come when you're pretty far away, too, no? Like, Faust is not even really... You're not in the danger zone here. In fact, if you're Ino, this is like a neutral scenario. You can stroke or hover dash and force a response. This super is... kind of like, you know, you're not even pressured into this really, right? You can do like stroke, or you can wait to see what he's gonna do and then YRC on defense or do something else. Like, you know, you're it's kind of like an unforced super in that regard, right?
It's really difficult to beat like high level players, or even if it's not high level players. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of jump 2K from Faust here to try to meet her in the air. I almost would rather see you doing jump H air to airs or like staying on the ground and trying to interrupt her approach or air dashing back and trying to cover space or something. I feel like I don't love how much you are attacking Ino with jump 2K. Even if it was reactive jump back jump 2K, you know.
Okay.
Double FD.
I like this Ino player's pressure here so far.
It's gonna be rough.
This is so big, yeah. I mean, when Ino,
I love these jumpies. I like that idea there. Jumpy and then go low on the next one. I love the way you switched up your pressure.
I think Faust should actually do pretty well against Ino when he's in the corner, especially at that range, because his
one thing I would like to see a little bit more from Hekyu is, I was just going to say stroke, but I was going to say hover dash into empty stroke. If Faust is not hitting 2P or 2K, a lot of his, you know, you can see from the way Moon Penguin's playing, right? A lot of like his attacks, Faust, are taking up space on the top of the screen, right? It's like a lot of far slash, a lot of jump 2K, a lot of 6P, a lot of 5K. These are all things that hit high on the screen, right? So if his primary like keep out buttons are hitting high, you should stroke way more. You should do stroke from full screen. You should do hover dash empty, like, you know, just do hover dash into stroke. You should attack the space he's not protecting. Jump 2K can hit really low. It's fine, but most of the attacks we're seeing is that. And if he's doing jump 2K, you can stay on the ground and 6P it. You don't have to approach into it. Both of those options are great to stop the kind of wall that he's trying to put up with his buttons. Does that make sense?
See, again,
Like,
I think
if
they're
Faust wants to stop
a
those
little bit-
options,
Oh,
Faust has
the
to instead
JK.
hit
Give
his
her an
2P or 2H or
It's
stuff like
actually
that.
super important.
And if he
Just like
starts
it's
trying to hit
bad to
2P,
mash
then you
too
can
much,
hover dash
it's
at him.
actually
If he
equally
starts
as
trying to
bad
hit
to block
2H,
too
then
much.
you can
Like,
air
giving
dash
your
over
opponent
that,
so much
right?
leeway,
Jump
you're
dive
just
it,
giving them
whatever you
infinite
want to
turns,
do.
and is not the
Nice.
character
That is
you want to give
good
infinite
matchup
turns
knowledge.
to.
And it's the same thing with Faust in that. I would say that you should maybe look for a little bit more 2P in that regard, and also be careful about always approaching with jump 2K. I think even jump back jump 2K might be a little safer and a little bit better to counter her approach with. You know, you should think about the game in two ways, right? As a Faust player, there are moments where you are attacking first preemptively to beat them from moving into your space, or there are times where you let them attack and then you counter their approach with a reactive button. Yeah, dealing with the mix-ups, I mean, that just takes practice. Like, you got to deal, and also everybody dies. Oh, this matchup, when I played Baiken, I did not like playing this matchup, so maybe I can watch and give you some
And
thoughts.
just give you a free turn. It's very, very oppressive if you can use it right on those specific characters that use it. Once again,
this match, I would say, like most matchups where Baiken
I'm sure there's someone else, but
has
it's not
less
coming right now.
control
We're
of
gonna see
neutral,
the
you got to
Sonic.
be careful
Those
about
are
how
fucking
you
not sure
approach,
what I was gonna
especially
do.
because,
Some of the Yozan
you know, in
Single
most matchups, I think
and
Baiken can kind of be
Nago,
pesky
yeah,
with her
definitely
really
attack
solid
throw.
grounded
If
buttons
your character with a
and
fast back
her,
dash,
what's it
Nagoriyuki
called?
can have a trouble
Her,
like this. He's only 0 on Beyblade on block, right? Please
Her
tell me
jump
I'm
approach, which is really good. Her jump approach is like
it's
really
even.
solid.
And
Nice. I like that.
backdash is a
There's one
really
thing I would say that I'm already a little worried about seeing the first like 10 or 20 seconds of this, but I'll see if you
option
keep
after
doing
Beyblade,
it.
because it's going to be command grab. It's going to be like
You know,
5
I'll
feet.
see if it comes up. Okay, you got to respect
And
those
those are his
buttons. Yeah,
top two
for sure.
options.
You got
So,
to chill a
yeah,
bit,
very
I
good.
think, because Nago with high blood like that becomes a character you do not want to approach recklessly, because if he just 2Hs and you get counter hit, you probably lost the game for yourself for not much reason. Your goal as Baiken when he's high on blood is to make him miss something and then challenge it after.
but
Yeah, you
honestly,
cannot
it's not
move
a
there.
habit that
You got to
I
be
would
careful
want
about
to,
that. I think there is a lot of moving and grooving going on defense and in neutral that needs to be slowed down a little bit against this character. I love that.
It is incredibly.
I love that you ran
punishable
up and did
if you
2H
just kinda
there,
whiff your
right? Because
Yozan.
what you're looking for primarily as Baiken is two things, right? When he is higher on blood, like he is now, he's going to do 5H that cuts across the whole screen, right? When he's doing 5H, that's where your air dash and your jump options are really scary. When he's doing 2H and he's trying to hit the air, that's when run up your 2H is a good idea, right? So I like that you 2H him. What I would say is after you 2H him, you should expect that he's going to 5H or 2S you, so then you should look for the air approach maybe after, right? So run up and then jump and then see if he whiffs a button or not. And both of those options can also be beaten by waiting. Just waiting and then doing Kabari to whiff punish, or doing run up 2H or something to challenge after, right? So just think about it like that, right? That's the RPS you're playing.
Especially against his Nago, like he'll make it hurt.
That throw was so far away. Also, I think you backdashed a few times on wake up there. I think it's better to just probably block, and if you get command throw and die, like it happens, but you got to be careful about that.
They did it to each other literally every round.
Yeah, again, I would say you should be careful about air dash Yozansen, because you've done it quite a bit, and I would say that you don't always have to approach with that right away, because it's kind of a risky thing to just go all in on like right away against a character like Nago who has such good ground control.
Like, let's say I have a happy
It's fine there because it
corner,
gets you out
why
of the
would I
corner,
wanna
and it's
break
hard to
the wall
punish if he blocks
and go
it.
back to dealing with neutral when I have them in the corner and they have to hold my win condition.
You also
so often
do a lot of 2S 2H, which is quite good, but again, I would say that this needs to be a Kabari here probably, so that you don't get chopped up. And you didn't confirm it earlier with Kabari, so I would say watch out for that too. I think the problem, Killmonk, you're having is there's a lot of moving and grooving against Nago in moments where you can't.
They're not converting it into like OTG 6H and a Fukio strike throw, which is very
That's great. I love that run up there.
It carried me to Celestial.
That should probably be a safe jump
when I was
after
in
that.
your Stride Baby, so.
Yeah, that hurts. You can't be wiggling on wake up like
so
that.
strong, and they haven't really been doing it. And I wonder.
Even right there, you notice that this Nago player, Lord DJ Fingerbang, you notice the adjustment that was made to your play, right? Is I'm just gonna wait and let the Baiken player do stuff and then counter it. Like you notice like what he did here. He just waited for you to run up and hit 2S.
They haven't really been doing
Like
it.
he's chilling. He's Nago. He's got big buttons. So he's just like, I'll just chill here and this is great.
Is Fingerbang gonna pop?
Super. Oh, that's fine too, I suppose.
I don't like the use of the meter there. It's not going to kill
Not the end of the world.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Would have been a super.
So like,
I don't think they're going to pop though. They should be fine. Just
again, another thing about Baiken to keep in mind, unless you get a hit that is really light on scaling, Kabari's probably not going to work. So in situations like that where you land like, what's it called? You land like jump S, and then you get Yozansen, and then you get grounded close slash 2H. This should just be Matt. You should do tatami, air dash, tatami, save jump, right? That's what you should be looking for here. Kabari's not going to work from that height.
Once again, I've said this before in this situation, your goal as the opponent
so
with
just
HP is
keep that in
to get
mind.
the burst away from the one you're losing to.
Gotta watch out for that.
They're not going to get it out. And you get to hold on to that sweet burst.
And again, you should be careful about attacking against Nago. He really controls the pace of this match. So you should be careful. Ooh, that hurts. Wall splat. I should have been super, but it's not the end of the world.
Froze for a minute, and then it went like 10 times speed.
Oh, no. It's good for me. I mean,
that should be a Kabari right there.
He found how to, drift into the gutter.
Again, it just feels like, think about your movement, okay? Every time you do something, it's like, move back to full screen, attack, resets, and then instead of waiting just like a half a second, you're like, I'm going to move and get hit, and you get hit by a Beyblade. Almost every time you get hit in neutral, it's like if you just waited a half second more, you know Nago is going to take up that space with an attack. You're just a little too snappy. You should either wait slightly longer or attack even earlier. You know what I mean? Like the timing that you're attacking in is just a little off. This is a really hard thing to fix, by the way, which is why I'm talking about it so much. But like, look at almost every time you get hit by something big in neutral from Nago. So it like resets. No, you air dash back, and then like you're doing stuff here, right? You get hit on wake up because you're trying to backdash. I think you try to backdash on wake up a lot, which is you gotta be careful about. But like when you get hit in neutral again on the next interaction, it's like the same thing. You like try to challenge, and then you're like a little late, and then you get clipped. Also, these should be super or something here. You should super wall splat on this. I love that. That was a great moment where you moved at just the right time and you get the wall break. These right here, these 5Hs. There's no reason to be moving against these 5Hs or being, getting hit by 5Hs and like we shouldn't be moving here. You have to respect this. Your playstyle in the rest of the matches is why you get hit, right? 6H. And then canceling a Beyblade. You can't move there. You have to adjust your timing, I think, a little bit, right? I think there's like a little bit of a misunderstanding about where you can move against Nago. You're like moving slightly too early. If you just waited like a half second on all these moments and blocked, I think you're in a much better chance. There's like a lot of little moments. I love this though. This is the core of what you should be doing, I think. Trying to bait 2Hs and 5Hs and capitalizing, and trying to run up in neutral and then wait a bit more so you don't get hit.
Because it is incredible.
Yeah, I don't think parry is not always the answer. I think parry is actually kind of bad against Nago because a lot of his pressure is like strike throw with delays, and he has a lot of moments where his pressure is too far for your parry to hit. So you're not going to get a parry that will hit him because you're just too far away and you parry and then it doesn't work. No. I love these air dash out Yozansens, by the way. Great option. These are great. It's tough to deal with.
Heck you, I think the fastest way to learn wall slump.
And I think your opponent did a good job adusting to your playstyle. They did a good job of like changing up how they're approaching and making you have to deal with it. So, this is a good example of a player that I think you should try to play against more. This playstyle is good for you to play against because it'll teach you like when you're supposed to attack and when you're supposed to just relax. Yozansen is a fucked up move. It is a rude move. It's very good.
Yeah, like Gold
yeah, right there is another good example too. You can attack here though, because the 6H is not going to hit you.
Example of this, like let's say I have a happy chaos in the corner. Why would I want to break the wall and go back to dealing with neutral when I have them in the corner and they have to hold my win condition right now?
That's unfortunate.
So often,
anyway, I think your strategy and your play looks pretty good, Killmonk, but you just need to adjust your style a little bit because I think you're doing all the right things at slightly the wrong time. Like imagine if you knew how to play like like you could play an entire piece of music, right? But you just played it like slightly too fast. Like that's where you're at. You just need to slow down a little bit. It's just like learning how to change up your pace, which is where most of the struggle for most people comes from. Let's watch the top 3. These are the players that are eliminated from the beginner bracket. Congratulations, you're no longer a beginner. And what's it called? We always like. I like watching the finals usually because these are the best players in the beginner bracket.
Favorite, Nago, not in this matchup. And so if you don't take advantage of
Oh, that's
knockdowns,
rough.
you're gonna get looped.
That was good patience too to like let the wall splat happen. Oh no.
Man, you know how to wake up throw. Gets the hit.
Okay.
And so does he. Goes for the throw.
Nago players love waking up
comes into
throw,
the corner.
and the reason is that
Just let you get out.
he has humongous
Even
throw
though, I don't know if
range
you noticed,
and
there was
he
a
has a
micro,
great
walk
backdash.
back
So a
to
lot
the
of people
burst.
will try
That happened last
and meaty against him and then slightly miss it because they're looking for backdash or whatever, and then you get smoked.
Yeah, that is a scary. That's a scary situation.
I do like that you wire seed there. Oh, I kind of wish you had just
Boys' buttons are kind of slow.
pushed him away with Eddie because nice. I
was
wish
a
you had
wire
pushed him
seed
away with
play.
Eddie because he has so
They
much
jailed
blood
him
and you're in
5
such a big
feet,
life
and
lead. You
5
can
feet
kind of
is just
zone
not
him
good
with
because you don't
Eddie.
have
You know what I
follow
mean?
up
Like,
options.
yeah,
It's
do
like
drill,
60.
do drill,
And it's
unsummon.
hit,
I
so
love
no
that.
matter
I
what
would
the
love to
opponent
see
did,
more of that
he
when
literally
you're
would not be punished.
on a
So
life lead.
jail into a
Yeah,
low.
punish.
Oh, no.
Back throw or command grab, both
Actually,
good.
the
First time.
Sharks
DJ
is a
has popped.
Yeah, you don't allow him to
Sharks
get out of that
is
situation.
Yeah, Sharks is like the beautiful punish there because it
2K2D. This should be a sandwich situation. He's gonna burst soon, maybe. No
Okay,
burst.
yeah, he's godlike. This guy's banned too.
You're good,
That
King
will
Crimson.
just
You're doing all the right stuff. Nago's in trouble,
No, DJ could still bring this back. Okay, DJ could still bring.
but
this
you're
back.
doing great.
That's
I
the
think
Fukio
you're doing
throw,
all the
really
right
good
stuff.
option,
Oh my
actually.
God, you
King
almost
Crimson
died right
has
there.
been like jabbing Fukios, and you can use a universal throw. 'Cause it's
Okay,
only
so
King
for
Crimson has been like jabbing
the Nago player
Fukios,
here,
and
you cannot let a Zato player get away with this on you. If they're not going to cover this, this is just general advice for everybody. If the Zato player doesn't do anything about Piercer, there's a 7-frame gap between the two hits that you can attack in. Nago has incredibly good lights, right? Like your 2K, your 2P, your 5K, they're all excellent. Like 2P into Beyblade is like super juicy there probably too. You gotta be careful and not let him get away with that because, you know, they want to do it and then you gotta smoke them for
You might
it.
be using a little too much blood. Just sit back, play a little reactive with the 2Hs. See, that's the okay right there. Those are proactive.
I think
2Hs.
that change was, or that challenge was great there for that exact
Play a
reason.
little reactive with the
Again, 6P, I would like to see 6P into Piercer here maybe. That
See,
would be good.
that's-
Pierce would be nice.
2Hs.
See, it loses here, and then you try to go for clap, and then, you know,
Right there,
you
those
could
are
die.
proactive 2Hs. And the problem with proactive
Gotta be
2Hs
careful.
is that move has a lot
right.
of recovery.
Gotta be
That was a
careful
very
about
bold
that.
special
So I would say
move.
you should
Not
probably
sure
do
what
like Pearson to Pearson to Pearson to
DJ gonna take the
unsummon,
run right when we
and then
doubted
use
him.
drills when he's farther away. Does that make sense?
Right when you doubted him, I was just referencing my favorite video game, okay? And that is Luigi's
Nice.
Haunted
That was a
Mansion.
good close slash.
I love Luigi's
Oh,
Haunted Mansion.
run
Again,
up, get the punish.
unfortunately, DJ
That was
is
not a
gonna pop
punish.
here and just going for the Sharks. This
But
is
I don't think he
maximum
jumped, so
damage
you'll
that will
take it.
beat out.
So it looks like
Oh.
DJ
You should be looking to find a burst spot here, I think, if you're King
Their
Crimson.
answer is to just throw out special
Great
moves and hope
challenge.
something sticks.
This should be an
The problem with
unsummon.
that is obviously
That's
when
fine.
Bismaya, you're gonna
Yeah, the
pop
sword's
a lot
fine.
more
Do
often.
drill.
Yeah, and
Oh,
then
you're
sword-
doing a little
the-
too much.
oh
I
my
think-
God, that 2H was everything.
I think
Okay,
you should just
DJ's got a
accept
chance.
that you have a good
This
spot
round,
and
they've got
drill
all
into
this
drill is
pressure.
great.
That's
You got to burst
massive.
soon.
King Crimson,
Yep.
There's the burst.
Should be opposed probably. What you're looking for here
King Crimson,
is you want to keep Nago away with Eddie, right? And I think oppose is a great option here because if he does like clone, he can't Fukio in and attack you. If he does jump, oppose does that. And if he does nothing, you can unsummon or do drill or whatever you want to do, right?
but
I think you got to be careful about
do it here.
the space there. Yeah, I like oppose for that reason. Again, that
Jumped
sucks that
in right
he
when the opposed launches out.
jumped right after. Yeah, see,
Another
oppose was great there.
blow!
Oh no, you had
Catches
him.
him on the cancel the that was insane.
You
That
had
was
him.
insane.
That was it. Oppose was right. You were right both times, actually. You just attacked a little too early.
What's keeping them from progressing? That's kind of crazy to me because they seem insanely solid to me.
I mean, sometimes it's
It does
that's just
happen
the
that
way
way
ranked
sometimes.
goes in
Nice.
Some games, right? Where it's like you can seem
Yeah,
insanely
again,
solid, but
got to be
then,
careful
like,
about
there's
oppose there.
things
One
like-
thing about Nago in general is Nago players, if you get knocked away and you immediately super jump in,
That's true.
that
yeah.
is a
I think
fine
most,
option sometimes, but it's kind
probably
of a
honestly the
habit
biggest
a lot of
mistake, even though
Nago
we
players
called it
do.
out,
That is like
defensive
really,
habits.
you know,
probably the biggest mistake we've seen.
it's
over
a really like kind of like obvious thing for a lot of people, and it will get you in trouble.
That's true,
Put
yeah.
yourself in a bad spot.
I think most.
Also, I would say here,
probably
this
honestly, the
6H
biggest mistake,
here,
even though we've
I don't know why you RC'd this.
called it out.
You could just do 6H Fukio back and you're plus. You don't have to RC to be plus.
Is defensive habits.
I'm not sure
probably
why
the
you
biggest
RC'd
mistake
there.
we've seen
Maybe it was a
over
mistake,
anything else.
but I would be
Just
careful
people
about
not
that.
rotating their options.
there's not
on
really a reason.
defense. And
You can just
often
do
not
6H
knowing,
RC
like,
back
basic
or
counter knowledge
Fukio back
checks,
and do 6H
which
again.
once again you can't blame them for, but
Yeah.
just something that we've seen a lot.
And while you were saying
One thing to
King
think
Crimson
about
got
too,
absolutely run over
strategically,
now
if you're
last
King
round, DJ
Crimson,
is now up
is if
close. You can see
Zato
Crimson is just
sees a
out.
whiff,
He's
like
there.
let's say
DJ
you
has a
see,
lot of blood on him.
let's say you
Yes,
see,
Oki. No.
what's it called?
He's gonna
Nice,
pop.
super.
No, this is
Oh,
No,
that's
it was
fine.
too far.
If you
Well,
see a whip
5H
button
and super-
from
no.
Nago,
well,
you
no,
don't
you're
have to
fine,
run
you're
up
fine,
and,
you're fine.
and try to fight
Alright,
on the
so
ground with the
that super
button.
is actually
You can
punishable
also
on
choose to
walk
summon
full
and do
screen.
Piercer or do
But
like drill
you're
or
in
DP.
something
Since you
else.
block-
If you're like, oh, he whiffed 2H or he whiffed 5H, like I want to do something here, you can just chill instead and summon and gain space. And strategically, it's totally okay to do that rather than run up and fight on the ground with your body and risk it all. If he whiffs on you, just do Pierce and then Pierce and then Pierce and then unsummon, and now he's full screen. Just something to think about as a good option
Load of
sometimes.
emotes or something. This is gonna be DJ Fingerbang going up against Hekyu's.
Yeah, this one, I think it can be pretty tough for Eno in some ways when Nago has such great lights to keep Eno from pressuring. So it's really on you to come up with some
Pretty sure-
creative ways
I
in to
think
deal
Nago's
with his
game
like
plan
5K
here
and
is to build
5P.
high blood and
Really
then,
high,
use
strong hitting
Twitch
buttons.
as a
Oh, this
normal
is
to
rough
just
too because
keep
you air
out.
blocked it. Oh,
But
you
so
didn't.
far,
You
we're not
didn't
seeing
fucking
that.
block it
We're
at
playing
all.
Very aggressive, and
Sorry.
he's going to get the super to get the
I lied
knockdown
to
on
you.
Dino. And you don't exactly get Oki from this, but you do get the space control. Oh, it
I
looks like
lied
X
to
is
you.
gonna
That's my
respect
bad.
it. Give him a turn, but they will
That's
get
too
out.
high. Yeah, you had a RC to be safe
Use the
there.
RC to stay safe. Hit him with a low and reset. Double overhead.
That should be a
That
challenge
was a
from
good low there
Nago,
because,
and
Finger's
I
so
think you did a good job of. Not only did you try to
Yeah.
challenge, but the Eno player was ready for it and went for something else.
Not a lot of people realize is like when somebody's blocking, you can see what.
I like that
direction they're
option.
blocking.
Oh, you
Sometimes
should
you
just super
like,
here. Just do the super Eno player. You overthought this
Oh my
entire
God.
sequence. You need to just do the super here. When you
something
are in the
funny is
corner
not a lot of
here
people
and like you
realize
get
is,
the
like,
knockdown or
you
whatever,
can
and
see what
you got all this
direction they're
pressure.
blocking.
That I mean, you could have killed them there by just doing 5K 2D into stroke probably, but you just got to do the super here. It chips, it forces him off bar, so he no longer has YRC. Right? He's got a FD to not get chipped probably. It puts you at plus a billion, and you can do overhead low mix. You got a super.
Yeah,
But that worked out fine.
That broke the wall.
Yeah, I think I
That's
missed
crazy.
1 week
But,
of the beginner
level
tournament
beyond
match
that is
analysis
knowing
because
that
I
when
was
your
like
opponent is FD,
busy
they
that
can't
Tuesday or
actually
something.
jump or backdash out.
Nice.
They're
I love
locked
that.
into FD. You have to
I
let go
love
of the
this
button
pressure. This
before
pressure
they
looks
can do it.
fantastic.
And so you should be more.
My
likely to
advice
go
for the
it
Nago
those
player here
than
is
they are.
I would have got hit too, so it's okay.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Nice.
Our Beyblade. That is definitely an answer to stroke.
Oh yeah, you
Oh
get
my
a
God,
6H
so
there
aggressive.
after.
Gets close enough to get the first, and there's the 2H. Finally,
Ow. That hurts a lot.
another
That was like the
unnecessary
first
RC.
time I think
And
you
they're
got
actually gonna
correctly
drop it
sniped
because
out of the air there.
the
Yeah,
RC
you like
time
wake up
made it
super a lot,
weird.
Heck, you should be careful about
Gonna make
that.
it work out? Are we gonna see? Oh, the YRC. Oh, mid in the mid.
I like that. I would love to see a little bit more stroke because I feel like what we're seeing here is a lot of 2H to catch your dives because you opened up with a lot of dives,
DJ's living.
right?
DJ's living.
And I think that's fine. I think that you're doing a good job representing that option. However, I kind of want to see a little bit more stroke represented now because, you know, we've seen so much dive. Oh, you hate to see it. Yeah, the note is too fast.
That note was just a little
I would
bit
love
off.
to see a little bit more
It's
stroke because I
Heck, he was no
think
stranger to
your
fighting
opponent
against
is like
Baiken
really
forever.
aware
But
of the
you
air
definitely
approach option
see
now.
that,
You're getting
you're
2H
not-
a lot.
this
So
guy
that's
was
when
it.
it's like,
I
okay,
liked
time to
him
switch it up and go for the next option, which is bring out a little bit more stroke, throw him off, or try to use the dive to whiff punish the 2H. That's fine
One thing I
too.
want to see, by the way, as a response from Heck-U is to start using more H strokes in neutral.
You know, you love to
because
see
that
it.
will low
Backpack,
profile
you already got
down
me
the
covered.
2H.
Thank you. Oh,
Oh, panic gold burst. Hey, gonna work out though. We take those burst for burst. Another 2H.
all right, it
That's
all
a
worked
really
out
close
fine.
slash.
And I think
We've all been there.
Again, just stop doing it. Just let him fall and do your Oki.
that's what I'm saying, right? The 6H OTG would basically do that much damage anyway.
Wow,
Yeah.
I cannot believe that reached. That was shocking. Yeah, again,
Oh!
these
That was
dive
incredible.
bombs got to be
Actually
strokes at
incredible.
some point.
Because
That
he
looked like a
really should be
safe jump unless you hit
Absolutely
another
safe into a
button.
punish.
Nice.
6H.
You love to see it.
Stroke,
Oh, that's
6H.
not so
No,
good.
Actually wasn't close enough for it by the end of it. Gets the
Looks
counter
great.
kill and
Super
has the
nice.
AC to
Okay,
extend.
that's all. You did
Super.
everything right after that. You're all good.
Very
It's all
nice,
good.
right?
It's all fine. It's all good, dude. Looks great.
Beyblade.
I love everything you're doing. Okay, we gotta, you know, it's gotta be stroke soon.
And back to the room, he hit the ground running. You know, so something you said pointed out earlier. Is
Okay, here we go. You're FDing, so you're okay.
FD block.
Or Navi, what up?
Okay,
Still hard to punish though.
I
I actually don't know if you can punish with her there, because
But oh no,
you should be
DJ was
dead.
doing a lot
Not
of
quite dead.
preemptive
I tested with a few
Okay.
characters and it's hard to do. You gotta stop with the dives for sure. For Navi, what up, Navi? Like if you're initial, you notice it's like a habit, right? It's very easy to see in hindsight, but like when you're playing in the match, it's very clear, you're obvious, like your fingers just automatically go to up back / dive every time there's like a scramble. And that's okay, but you have to train yourself to sometimes do something else, you know what I mean? Because like it's very clear in the moment that's your option, that's what you do.
I think that might
And
have
that's not a
watched
problem,
because I
but
made a specific point of
it is a
stop
problem
using
when you
pre-
can't change that
preemptive
habit later
twitches. You wanna
on.
be reactive with these big
You know,
normals.
if someone is
Because
finding a
otherwise
good
we're-
response
and they
for
will
it, then
recover.
that's when you need to switch it up again.
Big 6-speed.
You see what I'm saying?
You have strike throw after this, and he knows.
I would
Goes
love to
for it.
see,
Oh, backs
you
off,
know what I
doesn't
mean?
Fukio
You see what I'm
get
saying,
the
chat?
momentum, though.
I would love to
I feel
see
like DJ
something
has
else
not
as
been
a
going
as
for
an
a long
option
fight frame.
represented. I think you're blocking on the ground here, no?
Definitely they have not. It's something that
You'd
they
love
should
to
be
see it?
threatening, and it's a big flaw.
I would
with
love to
their
see a
offense right now,
throw.
'cause
Uh-oh.
If you're not threatening throws with Nago, you're just
Okay, you're good
dispensing
here. You
it.
have super. That's not gonna
That's out
hit.
of range.
Honest mids Michael. Oh no, nothing.
That worked
Convert,
out
though.
for you. Got to be careful about those
We take
those
those.
wake up supers
There
for
was a
sure.
hard box in
I
that
think
sword.
actually, if you wanted to spend bar there, you should just do dive into RC probably instead of supering from full screen. I get the idea, but you know what I mean. If you want to spend bar on that situation before that, it's probably a better way to get in.
And the whole event around here, like this stream, like
What are
the
Ina's
people
round start
watching,
options
the
against
whole
Nago?
environment around it,
I'm not
the
exactly sure what her
community aspect
best
of it.
options are for a
It
lot
doesn't
of
need to be
characters.
advisable.
It's usually
No,
not
yeah.
to challenge.
If
There's
the
not
winner
that
gets
many
$30,
characters that can
that
round
means
start
you're getting
RPS against
minus
Nago very well.
winners, right?
Yeah, totally. Oh no.
Maybe her
That was
5k is
unfortunate
okay
try.
depending on what he
Back
hits.
was
Maybe
terrible.
her stroke is okay. I mean, it's probably not that
Okay,
great though,
good
no.
I
don't-
think that
Up
was
back
supposed to be
FD is
super
not
high.
bad probably. Up backing in general
might
is
have been
like a lot of
super.
characters do
I
it
was
because they
actually
can't
debating
escape.
on whether or
And
not
even
it
if
was
you do up
actually
back,
good
you
to
might
go
not
for
have
it or not.
escaped, so.
Yeah, dude. Okay.
2H might be
Probably
okay
should
depending on
went
what
for
he
it.
does.
Because that hard knockdown.
But
because
a lot
they
of
didn't
characters
get a
have
hard
bad
knockdown
round
because it
start
wasn't
options
super,
against
they kinda
Nago.
got
It's
rolled
why
into
his
the corner,
options
that
are
was
so
it.
good.
Exactly.
Okay, love the challenge there. We needed to
think,
see a challenge
DJ
given
needs to
that
start looking at
the blood was
RPS
starting
situations a
to
little
get
bit
high.
better.
It was unlikely he was
tends
going to
to pick
frame
the same,
trap.
like, couple options. Well, another example of not knowing the scissors.
I
in
love the
RPS.
stroke. Let's see a little bit more
You can actually
stroke.
go for like Beyblade into the DP motion, and that will.
And the way to set it up
be a
too
really
is,
big
yeah,
frame.
see, this has got to end. The way to set this up too is you need to put yourself in the air so Nago wants the 2H, right? So instead of doing this, just hover dash forward and then stroke. And Nago
that
will hit you
will-
with 2H, right? Like he wants the 2H you. So if you just like jump here or hover dash and then stroke, Nago will hit 2H and then you'll
Really
kill
big
him,
frame
right?
shot.
You're going to
That's
hit
what
him
I
with the stroke.
But another 2H once again.
Oh,
Crazy value from it. You
Pop.
know this is going to be too much blood. But you're going to pop right in front of him and
Yeah.
be high low here. But they
It's okay if
they
you don't know.
No, they were late though. They were
We all
late.
make-
Yeah,
we all
that,
make
jump
mistakes.
kick
All right, should be
is
dive
actually
RC
like a
at this
true fuzzy
point.
Overhead.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Fantastic.
What is
That was
that?
perfect.
What an air throw. What an air throw. Honestly,
If you're in the
Hector's
Nago
air
there,
throw's been insane
you need to
this
do
entire game.
probably
Heck, he's a plus R player.
clone
It's
Fukio
he's
and then like try to do
effective
something
at it.
there.
It's
Watch
like,
out for the
players are strong
clone.
in this game, but they're not
Watch out for
as
her
strong as they
dive,
were
excuse me.
plus
That's what
R.
you're
I
looking
feel like
for.
sometimes some older players coming into it can get kind of exploded.
You're popping.
Another, by the way, another thing I want to talk about is
Punish.
DJ is only threatening after far slash slash.
You're chilling.
Every single time it's either
By
full
chilling,
slash
I mean
or
you're so
button
fucked.
or
Oh,
reset
punish.
close slash.
Can
And the
she
problem
punish
with
from
that
full
is
screen,
your
actually?
opponent's respecting it, you're not biting them.
I actually don't know. Probably
What the
not.
heck
Condition
is
is
help,
hitting
by
the
the way?
net grab.
You're fine here.
Nago happened is what I presume.
Yeah, that chip was ridiculous.
Oh, wow. His far
Not
slash
quite,
hit
not quite.
hover down.
Oh!
Oh, that sucks.
Went for
My
the 2S to catch a backdash there.
DJ
That was good,
is
though. I think one thing that
ridiculous.
Nago is really good at in this matchup, and I would say maybe to look for, is more 5K to challenge her hover dash. I'm sure you know, but 5K is like a pretty, and 5P are both pretty good checks to deal with that. And you kind of force Ino to start trying to like counterpoke you with 2S or use Chemical Love to beat your buttons. And when she starts to do that, it makes your 2S and Beyblade and other options like even more powerful, you know, because she's starting to try to counterpoke against you, which lets you then use your normal poke options and then smoke her. The ranges, I would say 5K is a good challenge, is ranges up close where her best two options to attack you are going to be jump dive or stroke. Those are like the two that you have to think about. When Tekken match gonna start? The show starts in 25 minutes. You'll figure it out. There's a schedule. I believe in you. There's a, if you do exclamation point look alive, the schedule's there and you'll find it.
Then you say sorry.
That's crazy.
Outside of that,
I believe in you. You got
Different
this.
option after the far side touch, we saw
That's
the
where
bonus
5K might be a little bit
Then
better
you
for
say
you too,
sorry.
by
That's
the way.
crazy.
outside of that,
Like when she's jumping back there, 5K might be a better answer. Or 6P. 6P is also such a good poke.
Different option after the far side touch, we
I
saw
think
the
you need more
bonus time,
6P
but that's
in general because you have a juiced up 6P that is really good for situations like
that's
this.
the question, right?
I would say right here in this range is where this move and 5K are and 6P. The 3 moves that you're trying to hit in this zone is 2S if you think she's going to stroke or 2S you back. You should hit 5K if you think she's going to hover dash and try to hit your button. Or you should hit 6P if you think she's going to like try to jump dive or you think she's going to like, what's it called? Try and hover dash in farther and use jump H. And in reverse for Eno, you're looking for 2S or stroke to beat his 5K/6P. Or you're looking for jump hover dash or jump dive to beat his 2S or Beyblade or whatever other poke he's trying to do, right? This is the range and the options you're looking for.
Oh my god, toes were exposed. And I think
Yeah, 2H is not a bad anti-air, it's just not the best. You need other options. Frogs
And
him
it's
up.
really hurting their Oki game because they're just doing 2S, 2H, and a lot of the time it's even whiffing. Like the 2H is whiffing, they're just losing all control.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you
Yeah,
saw
that needs to be Clash. Yeah, nice. Good recognition. You should have interrupted, though.
That was so
That was a
smart.
perfect recognition
Yeah.
from that it was going to be a Clash. That was actually wonderful. You did a great job there. You just needed to interrupt it, which is hard to do there.
No, you're plus though.
But you did the right thing. That was great.
You're already dead. Just drop the controller.
Super dead. Okay. Okay. It's okay.
That was
Walk it off,
great.
walk it off.
That was perfect that you recognized it was going to clash. Whenever I see a super, if you have a move out, you should just always try to FD assuming it will clash because the worst case scenario, you just get hit anyway and you can't change anything about that. Best case scenario, you FD and you're chilling.
They immediately went for it, and I mean, I don't blame.
Wow.
Oh, that's
I don't know
bad.
if you just saw
Yeah, you
that,
could have
but,
just
they
exploded.
they traded
Nice.
the
2H right
one
there
card.
looked good. I would say in general though, oh my god, you gotta be, these wake up supers have got to go, heck
Worst
you.
case scenario.
Yes, it is.
I know it worked out there, but you are losing so much of your bar
Yeah.
waking up
When you
with
have meter,
super
you know,
instead
it's
of
always
defending. And I think sometimes like this scenario, it can work out, but you really don't have meter to extend your combos or extend your pressure and continue to like harass Nago because you're spending so much bar on wake up super. There's maybe a little bit too much of it, I think,
Fingerbang
relative to
beyond
how
that
much
is
you
the
need.
lack of bites. The lack of bites.
Yeah.
They're just not coming.
Nagoriyuki
That
is
hurts.
not eating.
That is a
This
painful
great.
thing to eat. Oh, you could have finished the string though, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is a lot of blood though.
Oh,
I
he's
guess
a
that
meter.
helps.
Did it again.
Did it.
Yeah, we're spending RCs there on the corner in a weird
When you
way.
practice something so often, you probably do this in all of your games. Like you're not just gonna break it in the moment.
I love
But, when
2K2D
you're
there.
looking back at
I
the
love
footage,
going low
just
again.
Don't use your meter there.
You
Take
got
your
a great
knockdown,
spot to
keep it in
work
the
with
corner.
here.
Oki matters so much more than damage.
Nice.
Unless the
I love
damage
that
comes.
approach too. That was great. Doing
The
the
wake up
super to beat
super
that.
worked
Oh, you're gonna
this
get clipped though.
time.
That is a great option because you've been getting 2H so much.
use
I
your
think
meter.
that
Take
this
your
is a
knockdown,
really
keep it in the
nice
corner.
response
Oki
at this
matters
range.
so
It's
much
not.
more than
It's
damage.
not so good if he doesn't dash up here because you're just fucked. But this is a great option if he's trying to come up into your space and smoke you.
Unless the damage kills.
And then, that happens. But I really think you did a good job of adjusting right there. That was good.
Did you know? If you look in the chat backpack right now, you'll see Smoking Hot BBQ said DJ needs to stop doing
Wake Up Super is a fine option in moderation from any character. You need it. You need enough of it so that your opponent's worried. But any more than that, and they're no longer worried for no reason. They're just always going to block your Wake Up Super and your smoke,
Just breaks the wall with stroke. This is back to neutral, which is
Very
scary.
nice.
DJ has been doing a very good job.
Man, these
awesome.
2Hs
Oh, I
are
was about to say back
really
off the
owning,
routine
aren't
here,
they? They are
really.
getting a
Because
lot
you
of
have that wing
mileage.
condition we were
Oh,
talking
that's going
about
to
earlier.
whip.
You can do run up super.
Yeah.
And
That's a
instead, you find yourself in the corner.
That did a lot of damage. Wake Up Dust is probably throw, right?
2H combo? Are you kidding me?
6H?
Incredible.
Nice.
The
Okay.
BM
That sequence really hurts
That fuse
if
got
you're,
me. They got me
you
here.
lost so much life. Oh!
Yeah, that's gonna work. Okay, Oki situation, danger.
Gonna wake up
danger.
super,
Wake up
yes.
super. Is this a safe shot?
It's got to be.
Nope.
It wasn't.
Yeah, you're gonna get hit there. That's one thing that you should work on too, maybe too, is making sure that your wake up timing for
Oh, yeah,
safe
that's gonna
jumps is
work. Okay,
tight.
Oki situation, danger.
Because you like a lot of the fake jump S or jump H where you whiff it and then you go for the next thing. You can make this as a safe jump too, but
Your
the
danger.
wake up
Wake
super
up
is
super. Is this a safe shot?
It's
really
gotta be.
clipping you both.
It wasn't.
Gotta be careful about moments like that, right? Having safe jumps is really important. You did safe jump a lot during the set though, so I'm not gonna hold it against you. We all miss safe jumps. Is this a live event? I can pause a live event. That'd be sick. On a YouTube player, you actually can. This happened yesterday. This is my beginner tournament from yesterday.